The potential death of Kashin Koji could be one of the biggest setbacks Boruto could ever face. Let me explain. First, before I even explain why Koji's death would be so devastating for Boruto, not even from an emotional standpoint, but from a narrative one, I'll first explain why he would even be in danger of being killed anyway. So before we hop into today's video, if you could drop a quick like on the video, it'll be much appreciated. Every like matters, especially when trying to get these videos in the YouTube algorithm and expanding the range of my channel's viewership. So the more likes, the more we expand. But now that we got that out of the way, let's start this analysis video. The most recent chapter of 2 Blue Vortex just cemented Kashin Koji as one of the most important characters in the manga. Koji has had a direct impact on everything that occurred in the series so far because of his prescience Shinjutsu. I don't know why, but I really wish it was pronounced pre-science. That just flows off the tongue so easy. But it's whatever. So to keep it brief, prescience or 10 directions allows the user to gaze into the future, and not only one linear future. He can gaze into multiple futures and see different outcomes for those futures. And just that alone, not even his fighting ability, and we know Kashin Koji is strong, but his Shinjutsu makes him one of the most dangerous characters for any villain Boruto goes up against, including JURA and eventually Kawaki. And that's not even the only thing that makes him dangerous. It's also his extensive knowledge on the Ten Tails and OTSUTSUKI. I mean, of course some of his knowledge he knew before he unlocked his Shinjutsu, but you get the point. The knowledge and information Koji carries is critical to the survival of the planet, which makes him the most important character in the story as of now. He was able to see how strong Boruto was in the future and use that knowledge to strengthen the current Boruto to that point. So eventually, whenever Boruto reaches his prime, he'll be stronger than he was ever supposed to be. Him being the reason Boruto mastered the Flying Raijin and the Uzuhiko. He's just the reason Boruto came this far without struggling too much on any of his opponents he faced so far. He's also the reason Boruto was so urgently looking for the Ten Tails to dispose of it before the emergence of the Shinju. All the knowledge and information Boruto currently has on the situation came from Kashin Koji. And it's this specific reason why I think Koji might be in great danger later in the future. Throughout the duration of the story, Boruto has shown he has extensive knowledge on the Shinju, knowledge that would seem a little unusual to have so early on. I mean, the Shinju were just born into the world, so all the divine tree talk and evolution theories, it all seems kinda strange, which is why he was questioned about how he even knew about all this information. And every time he's asked this, he either diverts the topic or straight up doesn't respond. It's pretty obvious he's trying to keep his alliance with Kashin Koji a secret. But what for? It's true Konoha might see Koji as an enemy, probably just because he attacked Team 7 and beat the brakes off Konohamaru. Yeah, we didn't forget that, Konohamaru. We know. And then there's also the thing with him being a former Kara member, but there's a reason even bigger than both of those, and it all has to do with his Shinjutsu. If certain people find out that Koji is the mastermind behind Boruto's knowledge and his movements so far, as well as possess the ability to gaze into the future, he would for sure be targeted by his enemies. The most dangerous of them all would be the Shinju, of course. You absolutely don't want them to figure out this little secret Boruto's hiding. The whole reason JURA wanted to kill Boruto was not only because he was strong as hell, but because he knew about the Thorn Soul, something they absolutely didn't want anyone to know about. The Thorn Soul could be a sensitive topic to the Shinju. It could be a way for them to be defeated, or limit their numbers. And the fact that Boruto knew about it made JURA instantly pique interest in Boruto. So it had to be something important, really important. And from the conversation Mamushi had with JURA, it seems they already know Boruto is being assisted by someone, and that someone must have told him about the Thorn Soul. How they even figured this out, I really have no idea. Me personally, I thought they were very careful up to this point, but it looks like they must have been pretty careless somewhere along the way for their secrets to start being revealed. If JURA further investigates this and finds out where Koji is, I'm 90% sure he wouldn't hesitate to kill Koji, as he would find him as a nuisance and a hindrance to their main goal. And if this does happen, they'll be successfully cutting off a viable resource for Boruto to get information. and also a mentor as well. Now we know why they would want to destroy Koji, but exactly how would they even get to him? Especially him being hidden away at Orochimaru's old hideout. As of right now, their only way to trace Koji is through Boruto somehow. But what's a way they could drag him out through Boruto? One way I've been thinking about is through reverse summoning. Koji's toads, the one that stays with Boruto at all times, which he uses as a way to directly communicate with Koji. Okay, so remember, Koji directly controls the toads using his own chakra. Chakra that can probably be traced back to him if he's not careful. We really don't know everything that the Shinjus are capable of. I mean, you gotta admit, since Mamushi was able to literally see Ada spying on them using her Senragon, I think there's something very unusual about them. And if underestimated, it could prove fatal to everyone, not even just Koji. Perhaps another way they could find Koji is by defeating Boruto, pressuring Koji to come to the battlefield to try and rescue or assist him. I mean, the old-fashioned way. Since Koji should know already that if they lose Boruto, it's all over. Everything would be for nothing. So if push does come to shove, would Koji try to save Boruto? Maybe even try to reverse summon him? It doesn't even have to be necessarily when Boruto was about to die. It could be like right here where Boruto is getting arrested by Konohamaru and Kawaki. I mean, if you think about it that way, there's definitely a high chance him getting arrested could lead to them interrogating Boruto about his knowledge on the Ten Tails, which directly has a link to Koji. And it doesn't help that Kawaki found Kashin Koji's toad and called out that it was his. So now he knows for sure he has to still be alive somewhere. And this could be dangerous for Koji. As for someone that's trying to kill Boruto every chance he gets, and would be willing to do anything to accomplish that goal, I'm pretty sure he would see Koji as being in the way of that, and would also be a threat of attacking Koji in the future as well. And if Boruto just outright has knowledge on what's gonna happen in the future, it's gonna make whatever plan Kawaki comes up with to dispose of Boruto that much harder. So even though Koji could be used as a valuable asset to aid Konoha in their fight against the Shinju, and eventually against any other Otsutsuki that may invade Earth, Kawaki would probably still dispose of him if it meant he would be able to kill Boruto. So far, the Shinju and Kawaki are the main ones that would want to kill Koji, and for a good reason too. I mean, Koji probably knows that at this point. So what exactly would Koji do about this? If it came down to it, would Koji be able to fight Kawaki off to save his own self? Or even find a way to escape the Shinju? And most importantly, how do you even go about disposing of a person who can literally see into the future? I mean, he should be able to look into the future and see if he's being targeted by the Shinju or anyone else. Or maybe he just didn't see it yet because of the big timeline alteration. The possibility of Koji dying or even being targeted could be a result of the story being on another timeline. If any small thing could have an effect on the future and future outcomes, then Koji encountering Boruto and telling him about the future could very well change the future as well. Or perhaps in other timelines, Koji lives, but the planet ends up dying anyway because of Boruto's lack of preparation when it comes to strength and information on his current situation. But of course we know now he doesn't have those problems because of his alliance with Koji. But this decision ultimately put Koji on the hot seat to being discovered and will prove to soon be his downfall. And if you really think about it, Koji sacrificing his own life to ensure the future of the shinobi world and helping defeat a great foe like the Shinju really complements his character. You know, with him being a Jiraiya clone, I definitely think it fits. And if Koji had to go out, I mean, that would be the best possible way for him to go. A lot of people think or would tell me in my comment section that killing off Koji shouldn't be a thing as of right now, only because he was just reintroduced into the story and revealed his new ability. But I think because of that ability, they really can't keep him in the story all that long, especially towards the end of the story. If you continuously give Boruto a glimpse of every favorable outcome and have him know what's gonna happen or what options can happen before it happens, to me, I think it sort of takes away a sense of unpredictability from the story. If you get rid of Koji, Boruto would have no choice but to move off his own sense of what's right and wrong again. The future would solely be in his hands like it was destined to be. The JOUGAN being canon could also be a sign we won't see Koji for very long. Boruto is supposed to forge his own fate using that eye, and I 100% believe that. Of course, if you want to learn more about the JOUGAN and its true abilities, then don't hesitate to click on the video in the top right. I mean, this video is about to end soon, so go ahead and tap in. And I was also thinking, even though the abilities are different in their own way, and I would argue that Prescience is the slightly better ability, I still think it's very similar to Momoshiki's Foresight ability, and we have seen Boruto use it back in part 1. That's been a heavily anticipated ability for Boruto to be able to use as frequently as Momoshiki, but as of right now, Momoshiki hasn't made an appearance yet in Tubu Vortex, nor has Boruto shown that he could control that ability on its own yet. So I guess for the time being, Kashin Koji would have to take that role of being the main informant, or at least until Boruto is ready to face fate without the help of the Prescience Shinjutsu. But anyway, let me know how you guys and girls feel about Koji being removed from the story simply because of his ability being too broken to really advance the story forward in a way to where the stakes are at its highest. Should Koji stay or go, and why do you feel that way? As well, let me know whether or not you agree with me that Boruto unlocking the JOUGAN plays a part in that as well. As usual, if you liked the video and want to see more content like this in the near future, then go ahead and drop a quick like. We're going to be going live sometime between the 15th and 18th to discuss chapter 14 spoilers. So when that happens, you want to make sure you're there and on time. So to do that, just subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notifications so you get notified whenever I upload or go live like I just said. And until my next video, I'm gonna see y'all boys and girls later, and I'm out. Peace.